Here we go. Are we excited? Today we're excited because we are actually going to paint the bottom of the car, get everything in one color so that when you win the car, you don't have to go back there. You don't have a rusty bottom of a car that you're going to have to grind down. It is done. The floors are welded. Now they just need to be sealed up. We're going to use some bed liner.
Okay.
Good texture. We're then painting it. And if we get around to it, we're actually going to paint the firewall, and maybe we'll have a surprise guest come and do that paint work.
A surprise guest?
Yeah, that sound like fun?
A surprise guest.
All right, let's go.
Okay,
let's get to work.
Let's do it.
It's day 4 or 5, I don't know. Teresa will have to tell you.
Day 5.
On the 50/50 Camaro. Maybe it's day 5. She'll be able to keep track. Anyways, why is today exciting? Because this thing's going to get painted on the bottom and actually start to get built as a car rather than the disassembly and the repair and so on and so forth. I mean, there's lots to do, obviously. It's just a shell of a car, and it's been pretty mangled over the years. Actually, I think that's going to be part of its charm. So, Teresa's going to help me do some sanding. We're going to flip it over, get some product on it, and we'll tell you why we're using that product, how we're using it. Hopefully you learn something. And if you're excited about the giveaway Camaro, click subscribe, because that'll be important in the end. And don't forget to check out our merch. We are excited that you're here with us. Not only is this car going to be fun, but as opposed to a lot of the other giveaway cars, you'll see this is a labor of love. So it'll be Teresa and I giving you our time, not just our possession. Okay, so we're using 180 grit to sand this. And I'll just kind of show you how you run this. So if you feel right here, that's nice. And feel right behind it, that's not nice anymore.
Yep.
So what we kind of do, we sanded.
Okay, so it's not that I have to have it to bare metal.
Nope, not at all. Not
Okay.
at all. We're just trying to smooth it out. But I took a big grinder to this and peeled out the original seam sealer. And that's why you see the grinder marks.
Okay, so...
The interesting thing is, look at this. These are all factory runs from when it was built.
See it.
It's just kind of the way they
Okay,
get
so
built.
this I need to get smooth. Right
Yep.
here.
Yep.
That smooth. Okay.
And the top 6 inches is all you ever see because the engine's here.
Right.
Brake system's there.
Right.
This is all behind the fenders, but here. So
I seem to recall doing this
on your orange car.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
What'd you say, love?
I just said, how far you want me to go underneath here where the
Okay, so
transmission's gonna
this
go
is
to
good
go
for
in?
you guys to learn too. Why are we sanding? A few different reasons. One of them is to level the surface, and then that way we don't have deep scratches and we're painting into deep scratches and then they show. Another one is adhesion. That's probably the most important, so stuff sticks. Teresa's asking me why she needs to, how far down she needs to go. Well, we've sandblasted basically to here. She's sanded to here, and that's why I've got the red Scotch-Brite. Where did it go? It's right there.
Over there.
So we're just going to basically make sure we scuff everything between the two, and then that way the paint has a good chance to adhere. She's gone and made it nice and soft and smooth, which is really, really important. Well, not super important for a firewall, but we kind of want this thing to look nice. I got a crazy idea when you were doing that.
Yeah.
There's a chance I still have some of this Marina blue left, which is one of the prettiest colors, I think, on a Camaro. I almost wonder if we shouldn't spray the firewall the original color.
Okay.
There's something we could put to a vote, but it'll be too late. By the time we make up our minds, we could.
It's gonna look weird that the outside is all patinaed and then the inside.
No, that's
No?
exactly how the turbo truck is. You lift the hood and everything.
Oh,
looks
that's right,
perfect.
that's right,
Yeah.
that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And the idea is, again, is when one of you wins it and ends up with this car, if you actually want a really nice car instead of one that looks like it's a bit of a hodgepodge and a quilt, you'll be able to move forward from what we've done. You won't have to take the car apart to do the paint job or to make the interior a little nicer. You'll just have to put in the sweat equity yourself. So, let's have a virtual vote. Do you guys think this beautiful original color should be back on the car? Or just paint it black and let you guys decide what color it could be one day when you want to do it? Let us know what you think. You might find out later in this episode regardless.
I was gonna say, I have a feeling it's gonna be blue.
I don't know. I don't know. There's your sanding lesson so far today. We're not done with you yet. Don't go away.
Okay. It's kind of cool how it brightens it up.
Yeah, it does,
you
because
just-
it gets into the actual color pigments.
Yeah, it's really cool.
All right, David, I need your hand for just a sec, dumping this car over. Okay, that's good.
That's pretty.
Your which?
I said, that's pretty.
Yeah,
My pretty hands.
we're cooking. We're cooking.
Did I get
Okay.
black all over my face?
Oh, you did now. Should have thought about that.
Damn
Okay,
it.
so we might need your help here, sweetie.
What am I doing?
You're not standing on the bottom side, that's for sure. So do you want to do it back corner and I'll do it front corner? Sure. Yeah, so you go ahead and move yours just a little bit. Oh, moving the buggy. Teresa, you want to hold the buggy? Here, maybe I can do it this way. This is the problem with the free rotisserie. Teresa, you need to hold, not the car, you need to pull the buggy your way. Pull it your way. Well, you're not helping.
What are we
Neither is
trying to
Teresa.
do?
Get the car on its side.
Okay,
So you need to pull the buggy that way.
okay.
There, perfect.
Okay.
Clearly we need more of that.
Okay.
Okay. That should just about do it. Yep. Okay. Now we're lifting, the three of us.
Okay.
That's perfect. Let's get this out. You might as well take one of these with you, David. The reason I'm in a hurry is because we got 50 work days to do this. I don't know if we even cover this roof. It's so horrible.
Do you want that corner? Or you're doing it?
Yes, this stuff. Remember that all metal? We got to clean that up. You got to see this.
What am I gonna see?
You. It's really good. Okay, so we got it looking really nice here. It's ready just about everywhere.
Oh, do you want me to sand this?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm just going to work on some little areas here, put some brushable seam sealer.
Okay.
And the original quarter panel has got some messes of Bondo. Lots of Bondo. Now, why am I not fixing that perfect right now? Because it would require another quarter panel, and I don't know if we have it in the budget. So, late in the 50 days, if I've got time and money left in the budget, I will probably replace that quarter panel. If I don't, we're doing burnouts with an ugly quarter panel, because I don't think that's going to change the fun factor.
No.
I did realize, though, and we might say this a few times in the next few episodes, I did realize that we are actually building a car for somebody else, maybe you, and we're going to make these decisions without you. So if you have a vision for this car and you think you're going to have a purpose for it, why don't you let us know what you would use it for? And if there's a bunch of you that want to take it drag racing, then maybe we'll set it up for drag racing more so than road racing. If you think you want a really cool street cruiser that can lay a little rubber and hold its own, let us know that. We're very flexible. We just want a car to have fun with and give you the keys once it's tested, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a little bit more grinding and we'll get to...
I'm gonna keep sanding
look at that.
my mess.
A total mess. Who doesn't mind a dirty girl once in a while? Okay, and I'm going to go here. Yes,
This is not what you do in a paint booth.
No, don't do this in your paint booth. Oh well, I think I got it cleaned up pretty good. Got the wrong adapter here.
Should I be putting one of those on my face?
No, it's not really bad. All right, I'm going to use up a bunch of leftover stuff here today because we have it. Because it'll keep us on budget. Okay, so this stuff's spraying like shit. Remember I said I was going to use up some used up materials? That's what's going to happen. Sometimes it's going to spray like shit. Okay, now I've got a box liner. Here is what I'm going to do. Pour half of that, half as much as I'm supposed to, probably half of this. Let's see how far that gets me and where I'm going. Oh, that needs a little stir.
And if you
So the
want,
reason we use these box liners is because they're tough, 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 tough. And they'll do a nice job, so. And you can kind of, as you're spraying it, you'll get used to it. And you'll actually see that you're able to manipulate the product a little bit. Oh yeah, look at clumpy and gross.
notice how the label's faced away from.
Yeah, we don't
the
have a sponsor
audience?
for that product yet. So this is cutting into my budget. So I'm going to focus on areas that aren't 100% perfect, like the welds and the patches that I did. Some other areas just don't need any of this. So we got that. We're going to pour the hardener in. Apparently it kicks really fast, says Cousin David. I'm going to stir, stir, stir. And this again is a paintable product. It's actually tintable. I didn't get to that. We are going to... So we're doing the box lining first, and then Teresa's got to make her mind up on the firewall.
I go blue.
You decided blue? Okay.
I like blue.
Thought you might. So I'm going to make Teresa happy and paint the firewall blue.
If we have blue, then we should use blue because it's
we gotta
free.
we gotta go looking.
Okay.
But a number of years ago, I painted a Camaro, Brittany blue. Oh, for Rust Valley. Brittany
Yes. There you go.
blue, or not Brittany blue, Marina blue, whatever
Marina.
that is. Yes. So we have some for sure.
It's like Corvette Marina Blue.
Now, if you noticed, I started on all the welds, and when I was saying we can kind of manipulate this, if I put one coat on the welds, let it dry up a bit, and even put my, see that? That was a little pinhole. I just put my finger in it and filled it up. So now that pinhole goes away, magically gone. So We let it harden up just a little bit, and then we make another pass. I'm just going to sprinkle some on the bulk of it so there's consistency. And I think we're almost ready to paint. If you want to see how this stuff's really done in depth and in detail, go to Paintucation by Kevin Tates. He's one of my buddies and he's doing a really good job of building his Camaro. Hopefully we're doing him some honor here, but yeah, this is fun. We're trying to find a balance between how we do really high-end cars and how we can just do one like you guys would at home and do a really nice job so you got a great car. So let's go. Remember, first coat should be transparent. You should be able to see through it.
Good tip.
There's a thing called a spray pattern on these guns. If you turn it clockwise, it goes to a small pattern. If you turn it counterclockwise, it does more of an open fan. I'm trying to get somewhere in the middle so I can sneak in everywhere and get paint everywhere. That makes sense? So I'm just... See how that's too big a pattern? And turn it in. That's too small a pattern. There, I got a perfect pattern. Fucking ugly. I'm just so used to cars being perfect.
It's not.
Yeah, I know, it looks good, but I'm used to them looking just a little bit better than that. So we're gonna let this transparent coat dry. We'll come back in about a half hour, put one more coat on, and then we're gonna talk to Teresa about finishing our day maybe with some blue paint.
Woohoo.
Second coat, hey?
Yeah.
Second coat's done. I'm a lot happier. We are gonna paint the firewall. And I know you guys were thinking I'd like it red or I'd like it green or black, but Teresa chose blue. You have to figure that out later. Teresa's gonna paint it, so let's go. So we definitely have a bit of a chemical cocktail going on there because I've got this rust paint and then some box lining. So we're going to put a little...
Did you find the paint?
Sorry, love?
You found the paint.
Awesome.
Wow.
Beautiful. It's really
That is
beautiful.
super pretty.
So hopefully we have your guys' support. Give us a thumbs up if you thought that was the right thing to do.
Give us a thumbs up anyways.
Yeah, we need a thumbs up. We work hard to bring you content and we get beat up a little here and there. Okay. So a little bit of this. So what we're using here is a sealer that is going to kind of isolate. Remember I was saying I got a bit of a cocktail going on there. So sealers are good for a lot of things. On bare metal, which we have, they're going to put a good etch into the bare metal. They do a good translation. They also even out the color, which is really, really important to us. So now we're going to have the color as a nice gray to put the blue on. The metallics tend to really prefer that. They don't kind of get blotchy or spotty.
I'm a novice painter.
Yeah.
So
Well, you're not a painter at all.
exactly. Exactly. So explain to me what you've just put in this chemical cocktail that's in here.
Okay, so we have one component is the actual sealer.
Okay.
And I picked a medium gray because I think that'll hide the blue very, very well.
Okay.
The next component was a hardener.
Okay.
Because everything nowadays is, we're basically making plastic, if you want to look at it that way.
Oh.
You know, like a clear coat on a car reminds you of plastic. Well,
I
that's
think of
what
it as
we're
nail
making.
polish.
Yeah, so nail polish is plastic. So we've got one ingredient that stays dormant and liquid until you add a hardener. Once
Okay.
you add the hardener, in a certain amount of time it'll turn into a polyester, plastic. Well, it's not polyester, somebody's going to get me on that one too.
And
But anyways.
is there a certain, obviously, measurement of...
Yep. So I went 4 of this, 1 of this, 2 of reducer. The reducer basically makes it sprayable.
in ounces?
In anything, it wouldn't matter. I used the lines on this stick. As long as the ratio is the same, that's all that matters. So, and there were not window frames on that deal. So we're going to load that into a cup, which will then get loaded into a gun, which will then make the Firewall blue. This is a super fun day on the Camaro for JF. Now we're not going to mask the bottom side of the car because it's still wet. But if you recall, when the factory was doing these cars, they had overspray on every one of their components. And we're very comfortable with that. I think it'll look nice. We'll be done. Now we gotta find a nice paint gun for this trick. Oh, where's my favorite paint gun? Oh, look at that guy. That looks
Holy
good.
cow, there's a lot of guns in there.
Yeah, but this is the magic right here.
Why is that one so special?
I don't know. I'm a bit fond of them. The one thing they do is they're very ergonomically very nice.
Okay.
So when you put your hand in it, like maybe a pistol grip, you've really got some nice contours. It's attractive looking. But most of all,
Something that's got curves and is attractive looking.
yeah, most of all, it sprays really well. So if I get it set up right and Teresa actually listens, we're gonna have a pretty well a perfect firewall. It's gonna look really good. Okay, so you need a mask. So I'll put that on your head. I will need less of a mask because I'm not the one spraying. So what I'm gonna do for Teresa is set up the gun. Just something I can't do for you guys at home. But that's okay. We'll show you how I set it up. Okay, we'll keep the booth quiet for just a second while I show Teresa what to do. We showed you guys earlier patterns on a gun. We're going to go for something similar to what we had earlier. Okay, so again, I said the pattern can start very, very wide all the way down to like a microscopic tip. So wide to a tip, and I'm going to be somewhere in the middle. Kind of not like this, but like this. That's already pretty good already. So that's one way of looking. See how that one's a little bit wider. And then I'm going to go right to the other end so you can see what the other end is. See how round that is? We want to be somewhere in the middle. Perfect. Now, the trick here is that Teresa is only going to do this surface and this one. I don't want her to turn all that black stuff blue. So, first thing we're going to do is blow it all off. Try to get the dust out. Okay, so come over here and I'll show you. Bring the camera. So we're just going to put a nice light coat of sealer here. And remember, we sanded this surface so the sealer would stick. You can see there's still some transparency in the sealer. I'm okay with that. I actually prefer that. Now, Teresa, you're going to want to stay this far away, which means about here.
Okay.
Right? Not here, you're going to get a run.
Okay.
And not here, you're just going to blast paint everywhere and it won't stick. Right? So this thing's in the way. So that's your obstacle for the day. But I think just in an effort to keep this simple, you're simply going to make a pass like this, pass like this, pass like this, pass like this, pass like this. Watch out for that guy.
Okay.
And you're going to go all the way down. These are shorter passes, right? We're not trying to paint everything gray down there.
Okay, so you want me to go this way, not this way?
Well, you could go this way if you feel comfortable with it.
Okay.
First thing you got to do, put your finger on the trigger. Pull down for air, not paint. Yeah. Down for air. Get comfortable with that. It's got to stop on it, so go right to the stop. Nope. It's got to stop on the air. You got to be able to feel the difference between that and now apply paint. Okay, that makes sense? Okay. 2 fingers on the trigger. And I'm going to turn the booth on.
Okay. So air first, right?
You ready? Air first. Now release air. So what you're trying to do is you go from air to paint to air to paint to air to paint to air to paint. That way the constant airflow keeps the gun warm. Okay, so this time watch when I do it. Don't just pretend like you're watching. Watch. Air, paint, air, paint, air, paint. And I'm moving at all times, right? You don't just kind of put paint here, here, and then go back to here and put another coat on. No, you're done there.
With this?
Okay, put one more little coat there, but that's how you get runs on your final job. I'm trying to teach you so it's the same as the final. So when you go from air to paint, you go full throttle. I've already set the gun up so it's that way. That's why you have to be this far away, but you have to be ready to move. So air, paint, air, paint, air, paint, air. Perfect. Now we're cooking. Too close. Too far away. And too fast. So you changed your... It's timing and it's distance. So here I said too close, and here you went fast.
Okay.
So the timing was good. Now you've got to go back to change only one thing at a time.
Okay.
Go fill that last little space at the bottom. A little more. Okay. Now we've got some sealer left because I mixed enough up. I'm just going to put one more coat on. So we're going to wait for this to dry before I seam seal it.
What's the purpose of seam sealing?
Just kind of gets these 2 pieces of metal. I stripped them this morning of all the gross seam sealer that was in there,
Yeah.
and then I was going to reapply some, and I totally forgot. And I got to wait for this to dry because I want to mask it and do a nice job. Okay,
Seam sealer?
seam sealer. Whoops-a-daisy, I forgot about this. I don't know that it was super important, but it is to me. It's like using a caulking gun. That is a caulking gun, basically. Okay, so what I've done is I've made sure that I tape both sides of where I'm caulking, and I'm gonna smear this with my finger to do a really nice job. This to me looks so much better than the factory finish, and that's why I do it this way. It just does such a nice finish. This is a little bit self-leveling. Normally this is done with a brush from the factory, and of course they're in a hurry, so it looks all goopy and gross, and there we go. So now I will pull this off. Time. Now we have just a little bit of sealer left over, so I'm probably in the next 10 minutes going to hit it with a quick shot of sealer. Ah, look at that. It looks fantastic. So it's not because we're doing it quick and we're doing it cheap that we can't do some of it really good. Maybe not all of it, but some of it anyways. That's your quick little seam sealer. How about Teresa doing her first paint job on your firewall? I think it looks awesome.
It actually turned out okay.
Super, super nice.
I didn't have any runs. You'll be happy with that.
Very minimal prep work.
Yeah, it was good.
We literally sanded it down. There was metal spots. There was old paint there still, but we scuffed it up good. We put a sealer on, and that was the key.
Yeah.
And then Teresa put some beautiful blue, 71 Le Mans blue on it.
Marina blue?
Same as Marina blue, yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, so error correct, GM blue on a car that used to be blue. We thought it was the right choice to make, and let us know if you think it was the right choice to make. I think it's going to make a really beautiful car someday if somebody decides to paint it. The nice thing about that is now once the engine's in the hole, the engine bay will be dealt with, and somebody could just, even when you show up with that car kind of grimy and ugly looking, when you pop the hood, people will be amazed.
Yeah.
What'd you learn?
I learned a lot. Actually, what I really learned, so for those of you who have practiced painting at home, this is what I was learning from you, was the gun. You pull it back halfway, and that's when you get that air, and then you pull hard on the trigger to get the full paint out, but don't you have to literally go down, go off, then go back on halfway, and then pull through. And then, of course, the
50% overlap.
The 50% overlap was the biggest thing that I learned. Like this, this.
Teresa didn't know what 50% was on that particular project, but we're there. We got there. We got there.
Yeah.
A little painstaking for me.
Yeah. And then
I think she was ready to do it like a rattle can and start making circles down the firewall.
Yeah. Well, no, I think what I learned is that overlapping, you're going to get that overspray, and then that's how you get those runs. And I think that's for any guy that's new at it, like me, would have that same problem. The other thing that I learned, clear coat, how you angle yourself when you're holding the gun. You
have to look across it to see how nice it is, to see if you've got enough of it on or where you've missed. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. So it's experience for sure, practicing it. And I can see how being in the right position makes a big difference. How you hold your body makes a big difference. Angling your hand makes a big difference. Like, all of the things that you taught me were huge.
And hopefully you guys appreciate that, because while we're entertaining you, we're hoping you're learning something. So remember to like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Tell your friends if you think we've got good content. We appreciate you for watching.
And comments count. Every time you comment, your name goes into the draw.
Thanks, guys.
Bye,
Cheers.
guys.